ABSL Summit. Beyond Tomorrow. Building a Sustainable Future.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now ahead of us, the conversation, the interview, I have been waiting for all day for two reasons. First, because just in a moment, we'll have two wonderful women on the stage who I really appreciate what they do and what they have already done. And the second reason is the topic, very close to my heart, sports. I've been training swimming, cycling, and running, means triathlon for 12 years, trying to combine a sports passion with my professional life and family life. And when a few years ago I wrote the book based on true story, The Best, When Weakness Becomes Strength, about drug addict and alcoholic who after 15 years of drug abuse and then 6 years of therapy won the world championship in double Ironman, I knew that sport can be a fantastic response to all of our problems. Just make me sure that you know what does it mean double Ironman. It's a kind of triathlon. You have to swim almost 8 kilometers, then cycling 180. And double marathon means 84 running, immediately one after another. Yeah? So, I think it certainly gives well-being, triathlon, and mental well-being enhances resilience. And that is what we are going to talk about right now. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage. Maria Andrejczyk, Polish Javelin Olympic medalist, and Alicja Resich, Vice President, Atypical, the Foundation for Neurodiversity. Let's give them a warm welcome.
Oops. Wait until I see. Welcome. Welcome, Maya.
Hello, thank you for having me here.
Well, it's the first time we meet. It's the first time I see you in flesh. What a flesh. What a body.
Thank you so much. Honestly, I'm a bit stressed. It's not the same feeling as before my Olympic final, but still, it's something new for me. But honestly, I'm really happy to be here today.
Yeah, well, yes, and a welcome is welcome. We have the same thing in common, our two jobs. When we are about to begin the most important thing in our life, javelin throw, for me to be on a stage and start to speak, we have this adrenaline kick, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That is why. Let us start with mental being subject, because I know it's so important for you. You have come through so many tragedies, crises.
Yes, I did. Actually, let me tell you first, let me share with you my story shortly. It wasn't the plan for me to be a javelin thrower. When I was a kid, I was dreaming about to be kind of architecture, to have an architecture studies, to be interior designer, but I think that life decided for me. It was totally coincident that I chose that sports way of living. But the main story begins at 2016. It was in Rio during Olympic Games.
Yeah,
That was
applause, please. Rio, remember?
That was my first Olympic Games, my debut. So when I was going there, I honestly didn't expect that much, because I knew at that time I was 20 years of age. I knew that I was going there to gain experience, to learn, not to compete with the best, to actually fight with them. Mm-hmm. But I did surprisingly well because during the qualification round, I set a national record of 67.11.
Bravo. Should I really repeat every time? Anytime you hear medal, date, score first. Bravo. Yes.
Thank you. Well, so that was a big surprise. In a second, I began to be a favorite to medal. I wasn't prepared for this, for that kind of interest in my person. During the final, I took 4th place, which for me was a big achievement, but I lost bronze medal by 2 centimeters.
Yeah, and that hurts.
Yeah.
That hurts.
And the Olympic medal was my dream. And I wasn't prepared to be one of the best during the Olympics, but still, I knew how close I was, so that was difficult.
But excuse me,
yeah.
have you at that time, worked with a psychologist?
No.
Not yet, but now you are.
I was too young. I wasn't too conscious. I wasn't a pro athlete.
You had to go through it totally alone? Who supported
We can say like that because it was right after graduating from high school. So that was a totally big word for me. But after the Olympics, I felt that now I'm in front of a great career. Like I'm on top of the world. So I was ready to achieve big things, but it turned out that life decided for me differently, because a few weeks after the Olympics, my shoulder was in a big pain. So I went to doctor, had the whole examination, and it turned out that my shoulder is destroyed.
Your legendary shoulder, because your first coach noticed you as a girl and on a field, and he noticed that you have an easy shoulder.
Very loose shoulder.
Loose.
Yeah.
That's how we call it. Loose, that means that you can throw easily.
Yes, exactly. This is my kind of a secret advantage. Every athlete have some kind of secret advantage. I was aware that mine was that shoulder. And when I realized that my shoulder is all broken and it needs to be operated, I broke down. That was a terrible moment for me. And after this surgery, after the very long period of rehabilitation, it took me 3 years to be back on professional level. That was the most difficult 3 years of my whole life. I was waking up day by day with no assurance that this day will be okay, that during this day I will not feel the pain again. I was so afraid, so alone. These days were very difficult, but the one thing that was...
Excuse me, even now your voice is shaking.
Yes,
you are so emotional.
I am.
And that shows in any way you do, like you make those videos for young people. You are so emotional. So, okay, continue.
Thank you.
How can you be a champion with those emotions?
Well, with those memories are still fresh for me, because sport is my passion, sport is my biggest love. And when it turned out that I can throw for such a long period of time, I was really in a big depression, because I also had depression during that time. That all was really difficult. But I had only one thought that kept pushing me day by day, exercise by exercise. And I managed to be back on sport. That thought was that I was so close to the Olympic medal. And a lot of people after my surgery said that girl is over. She will not be back into sport. She's done. That was sad for me, very harsh, but still, those comments, those negative comments, those feeling that I still have a job to do, there's something to be done, that kept pushing me. So
But
I was waking
exactly-
up, working out,
What exactly pushed you? What?
that 2 centimeters. Yeah, exactly.
Only that. In my case, that would be, 2 seconds or 2 minutes. In your case also 2 seconds or 2 minutes, right?
Yeah, exactly. So actually that was my biggest motivator to be back, and I did it. It was difficult. I wasn't sure if I was choosing the right ways, if I was taking the right decisions, but it turned out that I did. So I'm really happy and proud of myself.
Okay, so building resilience, right? It's more or less like in business,
Yeah.
right? It's more or less like in showbiz. I know.
Of course, you know.
So tell us about this, because of course you already told us a lot about your resilience. So it's not a zodiac sign, it's not a what?
No. Honestly,
Whatever flow from the sky and cosmos, no. What is it?
I
building?
think that it's just the experience. Now I know, after that 3 very tough years, that the persistence, the belief in your dreams are crucial for building something bigger for your mental well-being as well as resilience. During that 3 years, I dealt with actually 3 biggest struggles, which was firstly not losing the belief in myself that I won't be able to come back.
Well, mention cancer. Mention it. You can't.
Well, this is also still very fresh for me, but I didn't focus on that. During my comeback with the shoulder, after shoulder surgery, I had also a lot of different injuries. It didn't help. So yeah, I struggled a lot. I had to trust my shoulder once again and trust people, because as I mentioned, a lot of people have had a lot of hateful comments.
Of course,
So
of course.
that was difficult.
Why not?
Of course. And
Thank you for all those comments in a way. It's really so good
me,
to
that
know
was- that was
you can
really
always
difficult.
count on the
Yeah.
comments like those.
But during the process of rehabilitation, I met a lot of very professional people. I mean, doctors, physios, psychologists, with whom I work till now. And thanks to their knowledge, thanks to their attitude to our work, I started to trust them once again, because I saw that our work is doing great for my shoulder. I saw the improvements day by day, month by month. So that was the people who gave me a new strength, a new kind of motivation to not stop believing in myself, to trust my shoulder once again. So I think that for everyone, the most important is to find the right people around you, because when you have people behind you or around you, you know that you can do a lot. Because
I know,
Yeah.
I am on top of a team, and team is what counts.
having a great team means that you can share successes and failures,
and
and
then
dealing
take
with failures.
Oscars, they start from thanking the team.
Exactly.
The team makes them.
So I know that's in the team we have the biggest support, that with the team we can achieve amazing things. That the people are the essential of not giving up, just pushing forward. So right now I'm I'm really happy that I met such amazing people in my life because they helped me mostly.
But I guess someone is telling you that you are amazing.
I don't need that.
Isn't she?
Thank you.
Yes. Yes, you are. Oh, yes, you are. Well, and certainly Antoni Kuczyński knows about it, right? Because he also made such a noble gesture as to donate your medal, one of your many medals, but the last one, I guess, to Antoni Kuczyński, who was very sick. I hope he's well.
Yes, he is, because Antoś for me, he's from my area where I live.
Near Suwałki.
Yes, Antoś actually had a very dangerous heart disease, and I get acknowledged with his story in April. That was right before the beginning of my season, before my season opener, which took place in Split in Croatia. So I decided that if I will be able to get the medal, I will give that medal to Antoś. So I did. I actually set a new national record.
So he didn't ask you for it.
No.
He didn't respond to a video.
I just
Talks,
that
right?
was a need from the bottom of my heart. I just really
Wow.
wanted to help him.
Because,
So,
you know, it's the other way around, mostly, isn't it?
yes, it is, but I just wanted to help. So I gave him that medal. We were able to raise over 30,000 złotych. So with that amount of money, Antoś parents bought a ticket to Boston, and now Antoś is all good, safe and sound, back home.
You are not poor, eh? And you are certainly not poorer. Yes. Well, I really wish you all the best. We are not finishing yet, but
Yeah.
yes, I'm so happy. You are all right. You are in a good condition. You have money to support you, to support the others, which is, you know, the point of life, isn't it?
Actually, with my experience that I gained through these years of my career, I don't think that the money is essential. Honestly, here we are.
Well,
we are
you-
lucky people.
You started without money.
Yes, but
So it wasn't essential. And look what you've done. Look what you've achieved.
it doesn't matter. Maybe I achieved something, but
Something?
I won't be happy with that success if I wasn't able to share that success with someone. So I'm happy because I can share, because I have friends, I have my support, my team. So it's the same thing with my medal. I really wanted to help with that medal to someone. So I gave one to Antoś, another one, the silver Olympic medal, to Miłosz. Thanks to that, I was able to be more than happy and more than proud of myself and of people around us, because all together we were able to help another kid. So I think that's the most important, to share with others our experience, our way of life, to inspire others, not just to keep it all for myself.
What's the point? Your family, you have 4 siblings, right?
Yes, 4 younger brothers. So that was a really
So
tough.
you know what you are talking about.
Yes.
You had to fight with them.
Yes, I had to.
Like I
but
did with
thanks to my brothers,
of
now
mine.
I'm a really strong woman.
Well, look. We are human, you know, we are strong. Anyway, unless it is something else that you would like to say to our audience, I have a little bit more relaxing question. What
I'm
do
waiting for you.
Really?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, because, you know, in my profession, just like in yours, there are moments, important moments, which are really funny. They are, you know, they're giving this kick. And it's very hard for actors or other great people to, you know, poker face, to
Yeah.
poker face and everything. And you are throwing this beautiful English word, javelin. You are a thrower.
Yes, I am. I'm a
Javelin.
javelin thrower.
And the Polish journalists often say that you are what?
The right way to say that I'm a javelin thrower in Polish is oszczepniczka, but it is sadly very common that a lot of journalists say oszczepistka, which is this is sad and sad only, honestly.
Well, it's really fun and good that you are not oszczepica. Well, I think that would be worse. Which one do you choose?
I agree.
You know, I am constantly Resich. Well, I don't mind after all those years. But it's, well, I am Resich, you know, Resich.
Yeah.
You know this, right? Of course, your name is not easy
Yes,
for...
my surname is also sometimes really difficult for other people.
Yeah, and abroad, you know.
Especially abroad, yeah.
Yeah, how do them pronounce your name?
Andrejczyk.
Chic.
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 Like chic.
Okay, you're chic. So you don't have to go to Paris to be chic.
Yeah, we have Olympic Games in 3 years in Paris, so I can't wait.
Okay. So, any other funny things, you know, when the very moment you throw javelin, right? After this long run, you have to stop.
Yeah.
And now there's this moment, and it may be, of course it is important, you don't know what's happening with you after all. But then, when you watch it, you think, gosh, it's so funny. What did I do?
I think that
Signs, you know, sounds.
the most funny moments are when we look at our faces, because it's such big effort that we did during each throw. So the photos of moment of throw are very funny. But
Slow motion, especially.
yeah. But still, I'm that kind of athlete that I don't need to show my emotions. I mean, I don't need to scream, but other athletes behave like kind of an animals after each throw. They just start screaming, and sometimes I'm wondering, are we on the stadium or in the zoo?
Wow.
So, yeah.
Charles Darwin would like it. You know, aren't we animals after all?
Yeah.
Okay. So how do you make with all this?
I don't know, I think I just don't need that, but thanks to my psychologist, I can put all of the things that are happening in my head and in my body and put all of that into javelin. So there is there is no need to give some extra screams during a throw. So that's all.
Okay. So this psychotherapist, I don't know, man or woman, it was also a crucial moment for you when you started to work with that person.
Yes,
right?
actually, he helped me a lot right before my surgery because, as I said before, I struggled with depression for a while. So he was the closest to me at that time, and thanks to his help and his experience that he could share with me, he gave me a lot of strength, and now I can say that 5 years ago, I was a young girl, very curious of a big world, but I actually didn't know anything about world.
Yeah.
Now I'm 5 years older, but way more experienced, and way more grateful for people around me, for what I already achieved, and for what's in the future years. I can't wait.
Yes, listen, we have like, 1 minute to go, but I would again like to make the comparison between you, your world. You are a master, you are a champion, you are on top, and some of the great artists I had a chance to interview, like, Claudia Cardinale,
Yeah.
Anthony Hopkins, Umberto Eco. And you know what
Okay.
the common feature was? Do you know what?
Have no idea.
Modesty.
Modest. Okay.
Modesty and gratitude, especially Cardinale or Halle Berry also. They were just, you know, like, I don't know whether they believed in anything in this world, the power, the cosmos, God, but they were so grateful. Isn't it wonderful?
Yes, it is. Now I can say that gratefulness is, thanks to that gratefulness, we can really understand the whole world around us and be truly grateful from truly little things. So.
And, okay, last question, since, my daughter and I, we've created a typical foundation on neurodiversity. It is the first one in Poland and in this part of Europe. I wanted to ask you whether you know any atypical sportsmen, sportswomen, you know, like autistic or any other specters like...
Actually, there is a different kind of, we have that Paralympic Games. And
But this is for, you know...
Yeah, I know, but...
it's not mental.
No, during, in Paralympic Games, there are also events that for that people with mental illness.
Really?
Yeah.
But healthy on body?
Yes, mostly.
Mostly.
Yeah, but I truly
But
adore
this
and
is good.
admire that people, they are a kind of inspiration for me because they have a lot of to struggle with. They have that lot of adversities that life gave them. So they are amazing. And I'm happy that I know them, so I can be inspired by them. And I'm proud that we have a lot of amazing athletes with such illnesses in Poland. That's amazing.
Yeah, especially that you have met a lot of great sportsmen.
Yeah.
And, well, like me, I'm also met great sportsmen, men and women. But I can't really forget the picture of an invalid, you know, sportsman, walking out his car, and his wife was, you know, giving him this wheelchair, and she, you know, unfolded, and he slowly sat on it, and then she pushed it into the hotel door, and then he won golden medal. So, isn't it wonderful?
Yes, it is, but sometimes life gave a lot of beautiful stories, and I think that there is amazing things in the future, so we shouldn't be afraid of the future, and we should just believe in yourself.
And you are waiting now, looking forward to what? To what? To what medal?
Well, firstly, to keep my shoulder healthy, because after the Olympics I have again some problems, but yeah, in a year 2022, we have world champs, European champs, so a lot of things to do. Now I'm hungry more than ever, and hopefully I will be healthy.
And then in game there is 1 centimeter or 2 this time?
Hopefully not.
No centimeters to win?
No.
No millimeters to win? No.
No, just
No.
centimeters.
Thank you so much, really.
Thank you.
You're great.
Thank you so much.
Great.
Resilience, maturity, talents, growth, innovation. The change made us stronger. This all made us sustainable. ABSL Summit. Beyond tomorrow. building a sustainable future.